The cash in your wallet, your bank account number, the loans you take, the price of stocks, even the amount of taxes your government charges you, all of it is tied to a 500-year-old invention, not electricity, not computers, not the internet, but something far simpler, a bookkeeping system written on paper, a system that quietly runs the world today. So powerful that every bank, every corporation, every government relies on it. And yet most people have never even heard its name. So where did this system come from? And why has no one been able to escape it for half a millennium? Let's go back to the beginning. To understand this story, we travel 500 years back in time to the Republic of Venice. In the 15th century, Venice was the beating heart of global trade. Spices, gold, silver, silks, precious metals, entire fortunes passed through its harbors every day. But beneath this ocean of wealth, there was chaos. Merchants didn't actually know how much money they had. Their ledgers were messy. Transactions were unclear. Partners distrusted each other. Fraud was easy. Bankruptcies were common. Global trade was booming, but trust was collapsing. And then, one man stepped forward, Luca Pacioli, a monk, a mathematician, a teacher of Leonardo da Vinci, and the father of modern accounting. Pacioli looked at the financial world around him and asked a simple question. How do we create a system where no one can cheat? At the time, business was built entirely on trust, and trust was constantly breaking. Merchants needed a way to measure their wealth, to track their money, to prove they weren't lying. And Pacioli realized the world didn't just need better mathematics. It needed a completely new system. Pacioli introduced a method we now call double-entry bookkeeping. Its rule was simple, but revolutionary. Every debit must have a credit. Every time money leaves one place, it must appear somewhere else. 2 entries, 2 columns, perfect balance. This meant errors became visible, fraud became difficult, assets became traceable, profits became measurable, and business finally became predictable. Pacioli published the method in his book, Summa de Arithmetica, a book that today is considered the operating manual of the modern economy. With this one system, Pacioli gave the world something priceless: financial order. And once a system brings order, civilizations adopt it. Soon, the most powerful empires began using Pacioli's method. Portugal, Spain, the Netherlands, England, the Ottoman Empire. Why? Because double-entry bookkeeping made global trade possible. A merchant with this system could finally calculate real profit, track debts, evaluate risk, and attract investment. And all of this led to something massive: the birth of capitalism. Not factories, not steam engines, not banks. Capitalism began with a notebook, but something else happened, something Pacioli may never have intended. Double entry didn't just organize money. It created financial control. For the first time in history, governments could measure citizens' income. Banks could track debt. Companies could trace every coin. Taxation became precise. Financial surveillance became possible. Money was no longer invisible. It had a trail, and that trail could be followed. The world entered an era of traceable money, something we still live in today. You might think this system is outdated, but without double-entry bookkeeping, none of this would exist. Modern banks, credit cards, mortgages, insurance companies, stock exchanges, large corporations, global trade, national budgets, digital finance. Even companies like Apple, Amazon, Tesla, they all depend on one principle: debit credit. This medieval invention became the language of the global economy. Without it, civilization as we know it collapses. One might think that computers, algorithms, and real-time databases would make the old system obsolete. But the truth is the opposite. Digital finance didn't replace double entry bookkeeping. It digitized it. Every transaction processed by a bank, every balance updated in an app, every blockchain entry, every audit trail, all of them trace their logic to that same 500-year-old principle. Two sides, one balance. Even artificial intelligence relies on structured data, data organized through rules that Pacioli defined centuries before electricity existed. Even as we move toward decentralized currencies, automated trading, and increasingly complex financial ecosystems, the world continues to orbit the same principle. Value moves, value must be accounted for. The world can reinvent money 1,000 times. Paper, gold, credit, digital tokens, AI earnings. But it cannot reinvent the fundamental logic that makes money usable. Behind every new financial invention, you will always find the shadow of the old one. As European empires expanded across oceans, they carried Pacioli's system with them, sometimes intentionally, sometimes unknowingly. The same double-column structure that once organized a Venetian shopkeeper's accounts began shaping the finances of colonial outposts, naval fleets, and entire trading companies. From the Portuguese presence in India, to the Spanish silver routes across the Pacific, to the Dutch mercantile empire in Southeast Asia, the logic of balance, every movement tracked, every value paired, quietly bound the world into a single economic network. The system didn't just migrate, it infiltrated the foundations of global commerce. Luca Pacioli, a humble monk, probably never imagined that his invention would shape the future of the entire world. But today, the system he created still runs our economies, our businesses, our governments, and our daily lives. A 500-year-old idea, still as powerful as the day it was written. And maybe this is the one system none of us can ever escape. If you enjoy uncovering hidden stories behind engineering, money, and history, make sure to subscribe for more.